welcome to episode 2 of the Road to Champions League Glory with Bishops Stortford. Welcome back. As you can see, we are Bishops Stortford. This is the Road to Champions League Glory. Today's episode is going to be a bit of a review of the club, a bit of a review of the signings of players and staff, and a little look back on the friendlies that we have taken part in over pre-season. So as you can see, the club have been in this league for a few years now, starting back in 2004. A main reason why I've chosen Bishops Stortford is actually, in real life, they are bottom of the league. And I wanted to choose a club where I feel that I can do better in Football Manager than in real life. So having a little look at their profile, I was intrigued by the 3 kits they've got, because I believe they're quite unique to have 3 kits in this league, and to be fair, they're pretty snazzy. I'm very impressed. Another bit is, looking at their history, they've stagnated a little bit over the last few seasons, so now I believe it's time for it to push up and go to their next level. They are a semi-professional club, which means I can only sign players on semi-professional contracts or non-contracts. Their reputation is local. Their finances are okay. As you can see, overall balance at the moment is just under £7,000. Not amazing. We have lost a little bit of money this month. That is due to having contracts terminated in staff, which I will go over a little bit later. But we've steadily had a decent amount of income. Yes, we've lost money, but we have made a nice bit of income over the month with gate money coming in and a few season ticket buyers as well. So something else I wanted to show you is the facilities of the club. So we are currently in a 4,000 capacity stadium called Woodside Park, which only has 298 seats, quite precise. We do own the stadium though, which is an advantage at this level, because if we rent we have to pay money, so we do own it, which means we don't have to pay that amount of money, which is fabulous. Okay. Youth recruitment is basic, junior coaching is basic, poor youth facilities, below average training, average corporate, might be able to get a bit of money in there. Pitch condition is okay currently. I expect this to go down during the season, and probably by about December it will be terrible due to the conditions within in England. So a lot has happened since you were last with us when I did that little short clip to say who I was and what I was going to do. So we've been at the club for about a month now, and there's a lot gone on in that month. So to start off with, let's just have a quick look at the staff changes. So as you can see, the manager obviously went out when I came in, but the day after that I got rid of all the rest of the staff. They weren't good enough. If we have a little look at the scout, 4 and 4, not good enough in my opinion. Head of youth development, yeah, he had 18 as youth and adaptability, but I felt I could find better. The physio, 7 physiotherapy, not great when I'm going to probably pick up a few injuries this season. And assistant manager Steve Smith, didn't think he was up to scratch. So we brought in quite a vast amount of members of staff. To start off with, we've got a new chief scout who's 10 and 8, which is a lot better than 4 and 4. So that's quite a good start. But my 3 key additions to the staff are my assistant manager, Ewan Williams. It's a nicknamed member of staff. I do have to comment on that. Ewan Williams is a good friend of mine in real life and a fellow FMer. And we play the game pretty regularly together, and as a nonchalant little accolade, I always rename my assistant manager to Yuan. It's quite a nice little thing to have in the comments and in the inbox to say that Yuan is giving me feedback and talking to me and giving me the talks of the team, which is quite funny. I find it quite interesting as well. And as you can see, I found an assistant manager that actually stats quite good. Judging 10, ability 10, potential 9, tactical knowledge 11, adaptability 15. For this level, I think that's pretty decent. So I'm quite happy with that. Another one is it's actually an ex-professional player, and that is Bretta Hangeland, ex-Crystal Palace, ex-Fulham defender. Very happy to bring in this member of staff. He's going to be my under-18s manager. He's got 13 for working with youngsters, tactical 12, defending 13, adaptable. He's adaptable. He got a good level of discipline, tactical knowledge. Very happy with that one. Possibly moving up to under 23s manager in a few years' time, because that means he will be able to work with my first team as well on training, which is always a benefit. It's always one I always like to add. If I haven't got enough coaches in the team, I add in an under 23s manager, because they are allowed to coach the main squad as well, which is always beneficial for you, because at this level you never have enough coaches. It's always one big thing. And my other one is Patrick Anderson. Okay, I brought this scout in on the free transfers, but as an 11 and 14 for ability and potential. I think that is way and above anything I can ever get with another one. So I'm pretty happy with this one. As you can see as well in his history, if I click on that again, he's actually been a scout at Man United and Malmo. So not a bad protege to have in the squad of staff. And also he's had 96 caps for Sweden, which is always great to see. So that's my staff. And as you can see, another thing I do like as well, if I just go on this, nationalities of my scouts. I have 4 positions to fill within my scouts, and I've got 4 nationalities. This means they're not scouting the same players. So when my chief scout came in, he didn't recommend the same players as my other scouts. So they've all got knowledge of different countries, which also means they give me players that I might not have seen before and I might not know of. So Chris is coming from Wales, obviously brings in a bit of knowledge from Wales, which is obviously beneficial. Amit is coming from Scotland, which helps me because it brings in a few players from Scotland. Patrick, Scandinavia. If I click on him, he's got a good knowledge of Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, which is fantastic, which means when I go up the leagues a little bit more, he can actually give me a bit of recommendation of players I can actually sign from those nations, because at the moment they won't want to come because I can't give them full-time contracts. So that is my staff. Got a goalkeeping coach, which is always helpful. This one, David Tivy, is quite good at fitness. So that helps. That means I don't have to have a specific fitness coach. It's always good. Okay, so now we need to move on to the actual transfers of players. Okay, sorry, wrong button. So the players, I let 4 players go on first day as well. I look at the stats, didn't think they were good enough for the squad. They were on long contracts in the reserves, and they were less than 1 star according to my assistant manager at the time. So I let them go. Don't think I'll regret it. I think I'm quite happy with that. Beginning of the season, I targeted 5 new signings: a goalkeeper, a defensive midfielder, a centre midfielder, a striker, which I desperately needed, and an attacking midfielder to play in the formation that I wanted. I was able to complete these, and I'm happy with the signings that I've done. So to start off with, we have Fraser Siddle, who is our new number 1 keeper, 30 years old, a good amount of experience, which I'm happy at. I play sweeper keeper, and he has a full green circle for sweeper keeper, which is fab. His reflexes are good, one-on-ones, handling, command of area. Not too bad with aggression, anticipation is good, concentration is fab. As you can see, been given a 4.5 star current ability rating from my assistant manager, Ewan Williams. And he's actually a good player for Vanarama National, which is the league above me. So I'm quite happy with this signing. Then I go on to a new striker that I brought in called Jake Simpson. Young, ambitious, 19-year-old, defensive forward, perfect at. I'm going to be using him as an advanced forward on my main one, but I will talk about tactics more later. But if you have a little look, good concentration, good teamwork. His physicals are pretty good. I'm quite happy because his acceleration and pace is good, and natural fitness. In this league, I feel if you've got a quick striker, then you can actually move him around and he can actually do a bit. 5'8", nice and nippy, can do a job for me. Tom Molyneux, brought in defensive midfielder, can play centre mid as well. Not bad at set pieces with the corners, good determination, good leadership, good teamwork, good work rate. Can't complain. Very good natural fitness and stamina. 5'10", he can head it as well, which is an 8, so not too bad. Plays short, simple passes, stays at the back at times. That is exactly what I need and what I want. As soon as I saw this player, I nabbed him up. Okay, he is a 2.5 star, which actually isn't that good. I've got Remy Meyers, who's actually another player as well, but I feel Tom's going to be the main one. He's not on a contract at the moment. He's on a non-contract, which is never ideal, but to pick up a few players on non-contracts, as long as other teams don't snatch them, you're not doing too bad. Then we go down to Simon Hanna. Simon Hanna has come in as a centre mid, but playing as a deep line playmaker, because he can actually play as an attacking playmaker as well. Randomly, he can play centre back as well. Not very good though, which is not. We're not going to be using him in that position. Again, you can see technique, passing, first touch, dribbling. I'm pretty happy with him at this level. Okay, physicals aren't the best. He might be one that might come on and off a little bit. Might drag towards the end of the game. 70 minutes, he might have to be subbed quite a few times. But he's got that bit about him that might be able to do a job for me. So his current ability is 4, 5-star potential. I know one's blacked out. He might get there. Okay, playing centre mid, quite happy with that. Okay, then we have a little look at these. This is another centre mid, but he's in my under 23s. Quite versatile, which is always beneficial to this team. Okay, Remy Meyers, not a bad signing. Physicals very, very good. Technicals not so much. That's why I think Tom Molyneux, because of his corner taking, Tom's got 11. I think he's going to do a bit of a better job. Brought in another 2. This one, Kevin has come in as a centre back, but he's going to be in the 23s for a little bit. Then we've got Jake, who's a left mid. Add a little bit of depth to the squad. This is my next one. Okay, Callum Harris, centre attacking mid. I'm playing him as an advanced playmaker. Again, physicals very good. Mentals good. Determination, leadership, off the ball, teamwork, work rate fab. Okay, his technicals aren't the best, but I think he can do a good job for me, so I'm pretty happy with that. The other 2 boys are boys that are going to be playing in the under 23s and just going to be using squad rotation. Okay, so you got Lewis Wilson, who's he's an attacker. He can play as a striker, can play as a left and right midfielder. Adds a little bit of depth to the squad. Okay, his potential is very good, which I'm very impressed with. But at the moment, he's only a 2-star. We'll see. At this level, possibly my assistant manager doesn't quite know. If I go on Yuan, he doesn't quite know if this is right. I think 5 stars is a bit ambitious. He looks alright. I don't know. So we'll have a look at this squad, just to show you how that fits in. A big squad. As you can see, Fraser is my top player, then Simon. Then I've got Harry Hickford, who is my vice captain, 20 years old. Leadership 11, teamwork 13. Very good physicals. Brought in this season, not by me, but by the previous management. Had a bit of experience with MK Dons. I think his stats show that he's going to do a decent job for me at centre back, so I'm quite happy with that. Okay, then I've got Gordon, who is going to be my left winger. I'm training him on the left hand side as an inside forward, basically because he can play it on the right as an inside forward, but he's right footed. I'd quite like him to cut in off that left and bang in a few goals. Long shot to 5, yeah, I understand that, but he can bring it in, and he's got a good dribbling and he can cross it, which is advantageous at this level. He can put it in the box. My striker Jake can then put it away. If I go down, then I've got Reece Hall Johnson, who is a right back, but he can play pretty much anywhere on that right hand side, and he can also play in a centre mid, which is always good. Stats are good. And actually, if I have a look on the competitions and season preview, he is actually the best right back in the league. Okay, but we will talk more about that later. So, Reece, not bad. I can cope with that as a decent right back. I can't complain too much, can I? I go down. Obviously, we've seen Jake, Aaron Green, left mid. He's gonna be competing with Gordon a little bit. I'm gonna have to train him up to be a an attacking mid, because he might be alright at left back, but I've got Johnny Hurd. Johnny Hurd is the captain of this club. Okay, his long throw is 17, which is always good. His leadership's only 7, but I think he's been at the club a few years. He's played every game for him the last few years. I quite like him. His stats are decent. His technicals are pretty good, so I think I'm going to be using him quite a lot. He might have a bit of a rotation with Aaron up here, but I think he's going to be playing most games. So now have a little look at the other boys. Got this one on trial. I'll have a closer look at him, but we'll see if we're going to sign him. It depends on budget as well. So we go down. We've got Harry Osborne, who's going to be one of our defenders. Not bad. Quite happy with Harry. He's got some good stats, good bravery. Can't complain at that. Physicals are okay. The further we go down, though, the less quality these players are. Okay. These are going to be squad rotation players. Some might not even play. I think this one's going to be released pretty soon. That's my only Greek player. This Bradley's probably not going to play that much, so he's going to probably go. As a little thing, I quite like that I've got a lot of English players. I've got one Welsh, obviously. Try to bring a few Welsh players in. I quite like to have a few Welsh boys in my squad, which is always quite nice. But mainly English, which is always good. Northern Irish with Simon, but I can cope with that. So if we have a little look at tactics, we're going to start off the season playing a 4-2-3-1 with complete wing backs. Ball playing defenders, a deep line playmaker and a ball winning centre mid. Okay, on support and defend. Then up above we've got an attacking playmaker who's going to be on support, and then my 2 inside forwards are on attack, with my advanced forward on attack. We play counter, and basically I found I can flip between this and attack. Start off counter just to kind of basically shock the opposition a little bit. Then if I'm maybe drawing after about 60 minutes, I'll put on attack. If I'm winning, keep it as counter. I'm quite happy. We like to play the ball in the box because long shots sometimes don't come off. We keep it balanced, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, retain and run at defence. We've got some good dribblers in this team, so I'm quite happy with that. The other formation we're going to be using is a 4-1-2-2-1. Okay, with a defensive midfielder. And this is why I needed to bring in a defensive midfielder in pre-season. I didn't have one in the squad before this, so I needed to bring one in. And as you can see, I've got a staggered centre 3 there, more or less. Okay, in the past I have used a centre 3 on other football managers, and I quite like using those 3 centre mids. But on this one, I thought drop the centre defensive into that role and have an attacking centre mid and a deep line playmaker, just to start pinging a few balls around and hopefully do that. We've got 2 wingers on support and we've got a defensive forward on support. My centre backs and full backs are basic, so they will be doing just tackle, just head it, just pass it away. Don't do anything more. Don't overcomplicate things. And then I have a sweeper keeper. I put him as a sweeper. This was just normal keeper. I put it as a sweeper keeper basically because Siddle is a full green for sweeper keeper. Can't do me any harm. Instructions for this one: deeper, very narrow. Keep it narrow because it means they can overlap a little bit. Might be able to get a few crosses in, but at this level, very unlikely that they're going to get very many crosses in. Okay, and the other formation is a 3-4-3. I don't expect to be using this, but I quite like for the players to get a bit of familiarity of it. I won't be playing it this season. Very doubtfully anyway, because I've got 3 strikers to start with, and I haven't got any decent wing. Well, I have got alright wing backs, but I haven't got enough centre backs good enough. So This is going to be more of a defensive formation, so when we're playing the bigger teams, or maybe cut runs that we do, and this is going to be our main formation that we're going to be using. So last but not least on this video, I'm going to show you how we did in friendlies. Start off with, we had a little game against the under-21s, under-23s even, and we played alright. 1-0, John Noble, who was the only striker at the club at the beginning, and I thought he was alright actually, not too bad, but then I looked at his stats a little bit closer, okay? He's a target man. He can do 11 heading. Perfect, great. If we get the crosses in, he'll nod them in by the sounds of it. But my only downside is, he's 6'7". I doubt that he can actually move around that much. Okay, his off the ball is 8, but I don't expect him to be able to do much with it. His corners and crossing, I'd quite like his crossing to be a little bit better than that. And his bravery is not going to really get stuck in that much, so I don't expect him to do great things. But he might be great to have as a Peter Crouch substitution type thing. Of if I'm losing or maybe drawing, and I need that striker to go on and make a difference in the box. Put him on, put it as whipped crosses. Hopefully get the boys to whip it in, and then he can head it into the back of the net. But he's a 2-star current player. As you can see, Jake comes in as a 4. Straight away, made a massive difference. My other striker at the time was Bradley, so it's a 1.5 and a 2 striker. As you can see, this is why I needed a striker. So we scored there. Then we played Scunthorpe, and at this rate, I was a little bit worried because we had brought in the new players. Fraser had come in. The other boys were on their way, I think. But we lost 4-0 at home in front of 353 people. So a few people came and watched us get battered. Wasn't the greatest of games. We struggled to keep ball. We struggled to make chances. I was a little bit worried. Then we went on to play Wembley. Wembley, a local club. So I thought, okay. So what we did, we brought the team up a little bit. Okay. So I did a few little changes on the tactics. Changed my inside forwards to attack because they were on support for that first one. And Jake got a hat-trick. Jake just come into the club, he bangs a hat-trick on his first game in the Bishops Stortford shirt. So I was quite happy with that. So 4-1. Then went on to play Billericay and beat them 2-0. Own goal and Gordon goal. Quite happy. Away from home. Did alright, did a job. I was quite happy with that. Then I set up a friendly against FC Romania. These are actually a decent team. I looked at their squad and I scouted 2 or 3 of them as well. Because actually, their strikers aren't bad. He's come out as 3.5 star. So unfortunately though, he's not on a non-contract. I'd have to actually pay for him. I don't have any money to pay for him. But him and this Gabriel boy, not bad players. They could do a job in the Vanarama South. I was pretty impressed. So I set up a game against them and beat them 2-0. 137 people came to watch. Beat them 2-0. Jake Jones is the left winger. Did alright. Banged one in for me. Okay. So then I played Newport. This was a game beforehand. Before it happened, I thought, right, okay, this is a big game. Against a big club, 2 leagues above us, at home. If I can get a draw, maybe even a 2-1 loss, I'd have been happy. I'd have been happy with that. Came out with a 5-3 win. I'm ecstatic. I'm hoping this doesn't give me false hope for the season, because I do think it might have been a little bit too good to be true. I'm not sure they're first team, so I can't tell you if it was their strongest 11 or not. But good performance by us, quite happy. Then we went on to play Cray away from home. This was a friendly setup before I even got here, so not sure who they are, what they are. They're a lower league club. We chucked on every player just to give them a bit of game time. and 2 subs came up with the goals late on in the game. It gave us a good win. Can't complain. Then we went on to play Birmingham under 23s. This was a game, again a bit like the Newport County game. One that I could challenge the players, test them out a little bit, and we came out very well. Kieran Holden is a 16-year-old youth prospect. At the beginning of the game, I ticked to have players added to clubs that didn't have enough players, basically. Not expecting anything, because at Bishops Stortford we haven't got the youth recruitment or anything else to gain any amazing players. So I thought, okay, we might get a few Regans just to fill in the gaps. But this boy came in, and he's a 1-star. Yeah, he's not the greatest, and he can play regional, which is 2 leagues below from what we are now. But his stats aren't bad. He can take a free kick, he can have a first touch, he's got a bit of flair and a bit of work rate, and his bravery is pretty good. So a bit of training, and this boy actually might be able to do a job for us. So I was quite happy. He banged in a goal, did alright. Jonathan Pierre-Jones is on trial, didn't do his chances any harm by banging a goal in. And to be fair, the rest of the team just played pretty well. Tom was in goal instead of Fraser, just to give him a bit of game time. Okay, we gave Aiden another game because he's on trial as well, just to see what he's going to do. And I was pretty pleased. So this leads on to the next game, where we're playing Hampton and Richmond. We won't be doing it in this video, but we will see what the score is next time you join me. Okay, so that is all from me. A little thanks for pressing play, and I will see you next time.